This is News 10 Mornings.
Good morning to you on this Friday.
Hello.
We caught you.
He just tries to slide
But you were
in.
working.
Yeah, my graphics reset, so I rebooted it, but I wanted to add some drama to the fourth
You
show,
added
and
some.
I think I did that.
Yeah, it is January 16th. We've made it to Friday. I'm Kiba Arnold. You see my friend Melissa Crowley. She is off today.
And I'm Jeff Marr sitting in for Dan Elliott. We've got Rob looking at the weather, and of course, fog has been the big story this week.
It has. We still have it in some spots. It's not as bad as yesterday. Kiba's laughing right now. It's the 4:30 show. It's a little bit more casual.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, 46 degrees is what we're looking at in Sacramento. Clearly, we still have some fog sticking around, but I think the headline today is that it's not as foggy as yesterday. Now, that doesn't mean that we're completely fog-free, obviously. What we're looking at here is Sacramento, Stockton, also same situation, some low clouds hanging around, some fog, but not as thick as yesterday. Visibility is a bit of an issue in Sacramento, Stockton, and Fairfield, a little bit better once you get to Modesto. But remember, with conditions like this, we're looking at patchy but dense fog possible all morning long, but no dense fog advisory. So here's the situation going forward. We are going to see fog in the morning, then late morning, early afternoon, we could be looking at a few isolated showers. Anything that we get is going to be very much on the light side. So this is not a big rain event. It's not a big snow event whatsoever. We're just barely going to get grazed by this system. Most of it is off to the north. And then we're going to see a clear weekend. We'll talk about next week a little bit later on the show. Back to you.
Rob, thanks. Let's take a look at Live Drive. We've got our crew heading out on I-5. Currently, they are near Galt, and this gives you a look at what Rob was just talking about, those foggy conditions. And Kiba, you live in the same area that I do, and for the first, at least the first couple days this week, we encountered some really heavy fog coming out of our neighborhood, but today it wasn't so bad, at least in the Natomas area.
I thought the same thing. I had no problems at all, but I noticed it the closer I got to the city.
Yeah, so it's something that you got to watch out for. And just checking the CHP CAD, they are looking at foggy conditions all throughout San Joaquin County, and then looking at the Sacramento incident page. There's just a couple of minor things. There is a slowed vehicle on I-80 and Greenback. And then there's a traffic collision that just occurred at Zinfandel and Douglas. So just a couple of things to watch out for. And as Melissa Crowley gets some time off today, we're going to walk you through the traffic just like this for the next hour and a half. Kiba?
All right, let's turn now to news from overnight. Authorities are on high alert in Belgium, where they detained 13 people in anti-terrorism raids overnight. Yesterday, authorities say they prevented a major attack. Police were executing search warrants when they were met with a storm of bullets. 2 of the suspects were shot dead and a third was wounded, and that person was captured. Prosecutors say they were investigating extremists. Some had recently returned from fighting in Syria. The gun battle was one of at least 10 anti-terror operations carried out all across Belgium.
And in France, authorities remain on high alert as well. 10 people were arrested around Paris overnight in anti-terrorism raids. The suspects are linked to a gunman with Islamic State ties. That shooter, Amadei Koulibaly, attacked a kosher supermarket. He was one of 3 gunmen involved in France's worst terrorist attack in decades. Today, counterterrorism is on the agenda, with President Obama hosting British Prime Minister David Cameron at the White House. Secretary of State John Kerry is also meeting top officials in France today.
Other top stories we are following for you this morning. This is back here closer to home. More good news for one of Sacramento's few heavy industrial employers.
That's right. And we're talking about Siemens. They have received another $210 million contract to build light rail cars for San Francisco. News 10's Dave Marquis has the latest on why this is only the beginning for even bigger plans.
Siemens has built light rail cars for Sacramento for more than 25 years, as well as for other U.S. cities and other countries. But now, as high-speed rail comes online, it says it is ready for what's next. Now, Siemens Rail System already provides about 800 jobs for workers across the region. But Siemens Rolling Stock President Michael Cahill says his eyes are on another prize that could be the biggest yet. The company that's built high-speed rail systems for 6 countries wants to build the cars for California's new high-speed rail system. The company's already bought 22 acres next to its existing operations that it calls its high-speed rail lot. It could soon mean more well-paying new jobs and even more opportunity for those workers who are already here.
100 years ago, this country had light rail lines, it had mainline lines all across the country. We took a little detour and we adopted the automobile, and that's not a bad thing, but we think that that rail is coming back.
And we are extremely excited. I actually go on the internet myself every couple times a week to check on the updates.
Siemens could bring the same technical know-how and manufacturing savvy it's used in other countries to get this country's first high-speed rail system up and running. And as they have for 25 years, workers here in Sacramento could be the first to benefit. In Sacramento, Dave Marquis, News 10.
Panhandling is a problem in so many communities out there, and now Sacramento County will be imposing some new rules.
It's all in an effort to put a stop to it at street corners and pump the brakes on panhandling. News 10's Suzanne Fawn has the details.
Sacramento County is implementing a new policy that would make it illegal for people to panhandle by banks, ATMs, and gas stations. They're also not allowed to panhandle on center medians, near traffic lights or traffic stops. This is what some people are telling us what they think about the problem.
I don't think they can enforce this thing here. You have a lot of them that are mentally unstable, so they're not ready to enforce it. We need to, besides loaves and fishes, figure out some way of better addressing how we address homeless.
I believe that panhandling should be prohibited on the streets big time.
I believe in the no aggressive panhandling. I feel for them. There's so many of them out there, but yet I don't know. I hate driving up every time coming to a stop and having to look away.
For the next 30 days, the Sheriff's Department says they'll be handing out flyers to people who panhandle. They'll be offering warnings, and then after that, they'll be fining people and potentially taking people to jail. In Sacramento County, Suzanne Fawn, News 10.
Well, something else we're looking at out of Stockton, the City Council got together for its first substantial meeting of 2015 Tuesday night, and the issue of communication is a big topic for them.
Right, as Tim Daly reports, it's the lack of communication that this council seems to be experiencing.
A couple things just I'm going to mention to the
Mayor
council.
Anthony Silva said more than once Tuesday he feels important city work is going on behind his back. This news conference on cameras for cops, it was 2 city council members taking part. The mayor didn't know it was happening. Then, as he wrapped up Tuesday night, Silva was scolding city manager Kurt Wilson for not including him in the process of hiring department heads when Wilson cut in and disagreed.
You've not submitted any questions. All right, because you haven't asked us to submit any questions.
Not true, Mr. Mayor. I've sent you emails on multiple occasions requesting those same questions.
Councilmember Michael Tubbs then took on the mayor on another communication issue. 2015 for this group will be worth watching. In Stockton, Tim Daly, News 10.
Well, something else that's worth watching and worth tasting happening today. The festivities are underway for the 10th annual Dine Downtown, and it's something that so many have been waiting a long time for.
Yeah, people love this. It's a chance for people to get a taste of what Sacramento has to offer, and you can do so at a cheaper price. News 10's Haley Gunther live this morning with more about Dine Downtown.
Kiba, good morning. Well, we have so many amazing restaurants throughout Sacramento. We're live here in Old Sacramento this morning, and it can be a little bit overwhelming to your pocketbook, but not this week. How does getting a gourmet appetizer, a steak, and maybe even some chocolate cake for right around $30 sound? Pretty good. Well, that's exactly what you can get starting today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dine Downtown is actually in its 10th year, guys, and it started with just a few restaurants, but it's steadily grown, generating $3.5 million in revenue over just the past 5 years. The 10-day event does begin tonight, and all participating restaurants will offer a special menu where you get to choose a starter, main dish, and dessert for $31. Restaurant owners say it gives them a boost, especially during those winter months where they do tend to struggle. As for customers, they say it's fine dining on a budget. And Stockton's Restaurant Week also is underway in just a matter of hours. That is sponsored by Visit Stockton, and it runs through next Sunday. Multiple restaurants will be offering 3-course dinner menus, and theirs are a little bit cheaper, starting at $15. Some are also offering $10 2-course lunch menus. If you want to see more information on that, just head to www.visitstockton.org. And back out live here in Old Sacramento, we are told that next year things could be even bigger. We have 32 new restaurants opening up here in the year 2015. Reporting live, Haley Gunther, News 10.
And it's an opportunity for you, Haley, because I know you're new to Sacramento, to try out some of those restaurants.
Absolutely.
That's what Sacramento is known for.
You got it. I'm saying to my photographer that we need to hop on into 1022 as soon as we get off our shift.
Start knocking on the door.
Make your reservation. Make your reservation. Haley, thank you. Let's
got
go
it.
now to some headlines from around the state. Thousands of state workers have been stockpiling their vacation time, and now the state is on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars. More than 35,000 state workers have gone over the vacation day cap of 80 days. The state controller says the cap was not strongly enforced, so workers stockpiled their vacation time rather than taking it. The problem has been building up for years now. The controller's office estimates California owes these employees about $447 million. Officials say the primary reason this happened is due to budget cuts and also layoffs.
3 more counties are joining a movement to separate from California and form the state of Jefferson. Yuba, Tehama, and Glenn counties are part of the 5 counties that want to leave because they say the state is too overregulated. Yesterday, organizers delivered petitions to lawmakers demanding a change due to lack of representation. This is not the first time a proposal to form a new state has come up. In December 2013, the state of Jefferson was also proposed.
Across America now, President Obama is pushing for paid leave for parents and other workers. He talked about this during a visit to a Baltimore cafe yesterday. The president will now call on Congress, states, and cities to pass measures to allow tens of millions of workers to earn up to a week of paid sick time each year. He'll also ask Congress for more than $2 billion to encourage states to create paid family and medical leave programs. Next month, we expect to hear the details on how this money will be raised. Also, the president will talk more about this paid leave in next week's State of the Union address. It will be Tuesday night, 6 p.m. You can watch it right here on News 10. It will be followed by a special edition of News 10.
Boxing legend Muhammad Ali is back in the hospital. It's for follow-up care related to a urinary tract infection. Ali was hospitalized last month for the same problem. The boxing great hopes to celebrate his 73rd birthday tomorrow at one of his family homes. Ali has also waged a long battle with Parkinson's disease.
Around the world now, go ahead and book that trip to Cuba if you've been wanting to go. New travel rules go into effect today, making it easier for Americans to get to the island as long as they certify they are traveling through one of 12 approved categories. That includes educational, religious, and humanitarian trips. Travelers will now be able to use their credit cards, and there is no longer a limit on how much they can spend while they're in Cuba. Plus, travelers can bring home about $100 worth of alcohol or tobacco.
In your money, I never thought I'd see the day. Gas prices below $2 a gallon in California. Sadly for us, those prices are down around the LA area where gas hasn't been cheap since about 2009. At the MAM oil station in Maywood, gas for $1.99, of course, means long lines. A station attendant says he doesn't know how MAM oil can sell gas for such a low price, but he says the owner just dropped the price and people started showing up. The national average for a gallon of gas is $2.08.
Locally, gas, though, is still well over $2 in Sacramento. The average price of gas is $2.43. In Stockton, you're $2.42. It's the cheapest, though, in Modesto, averaging $2.37 for a gallon of regular unleaded gas. A trend. Do you see this trend? The farther south you go, the prices drop. If you're wondering, the state average is $2.54.
Well, Intel reported fourth quarter earnings that beat Wall Street estimates. At 6:30, we have Moneyman Joe Eshelman in, and he'll explain what has helped the revenue boost for the Santa Clara-based company. And time right now is 4:44.
It is, and rapper Macklemore makes an appearance on Sesame Street. So we're going to have to explain why he is talking trash and the rest of what's going on in Hollywood. And Rob, are you talking trash?
I'm always talking trash. Oscar the Grouch was my favorite Sesame Street character, by the way, so that'll be a good story.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, you know, we're still looking at fog, but the story today is less fog than yesterday, so we're starting to see some improvement there. And also, we're talking about rain chances. Yes, we have some today right here in the valley. All that is coming up in just a little bit.
In your health headlines, more bad news about this year's flu shot. The CDC is not only admitting it's not a perfect match, it now says it's only 23% effective. Normally, flu shots are 60 effective. The CDC says this year more viruses mutated from the original formula, causing the vaccine to miss the mark. Scientists have to choose the viruses for the vaccine in the spring in order to give manufacturers enough time to produce it. The CDC says this year's flu vaccine highlights the fact that there is a need for a universal flu vaccine that would last up to 10 years. That'd be nice. The development for that is still in the works.
State officials are taking a small step forward in helping us get through this prolonged drought. State officials say December storms have allowed the state to send more water to local agencies and farms even as drought conditions continue. Water officials plan to provide 15% of the water requested. That's the second lowest distribution on record, behind only the 5% provided last year.
Rob, it wasn't that long ago we were getting all that rain, but it's already kind of becoming a distant memory. We're getting fog in replace of rain. We'd like to see some more rain.
Yeah, this is a bad place to be. Now, today is a little bit different. Today is really one of our rare chances to get a little bit of rain. It's possible, but you can see here, most of the chances are at the moment north of Sacramento, and that's pretty much the way it's going to stay. Yes, this will drift down a little bit right to Sacramento, right along the I-80 corridor, but that's about it. So this is not a big system. This is really drying out once it gets to us, but at least it's something. And for far northern California, they could pick up on some moderate showers through the rest of today. One of the things that this system is doing is it's producing a little bit of south wind flooding into that system, and that's going to help limit the amount of fog that we could see around the area. You could see some of the winds shifting around to the south in Sacramento, Stockton as well. It doesn't take much wind to really limit that very dense fog from forming everywhere. Now, with that said, we still have some patchy dense fog in some areas, but it's not as widespread and as dense as yesterday. You could see half-mile visibility in Sacramento and quarter-mile in Stockton. We're looking at foggy conditions, but not as bad as yesterday for Sacramento. It's also cool out there, 46 degrees, 45 degrees in Stockton. Not a bad morning, but remember, you can encounter a little bit of fog on your drive into work or school today, so we're not completely fog-free this morning, but it's better than yesterday. Okay, there's this next system moving through the area. The problem is that it's a little bit too far to the north, and it doesn't have a great chance of sweeping through the area, and it's running out of moisture as well. So there's a couple things working against this system. That's why we're not overly excited about our rain chances today, and I think you'll really see it here, how things play out over the next couple of days with this computer model forecast. The clouds come in, sure, but as you can see, the rain chances really stay north of I-80, and it's really limited for the mountains. We're really only expecting some light showers and maybe an inch or two of snow well above 7,500 feet. So maybe for the resorts they can get a little dusting, but that's about it with this one. And this is really one of the only opportunities we can get some rain. We've got another glancing blow, not expecting anything more than a few sprinkles in the valley on Sunday. And then, as you can see, going well into next week, we're dry and we're very warm. We're only looking at a couple chances of rain basically today and Sunday, and then that's it for a very long time. Moving forward here, I do have a rain-snow mix for the higher elevations there, but really we're talking about snow levels up above 7,500 feet with this system, and then on Sunday up above 8,000 feet. So both systems are fairly warm and very warm than what you would expect for the middle of January. Going forward here, we really don't see much past this last system here on Sunday, and we're looking at temperatures rising into the mid-60s, so very warm and dry for this time of year. Back to you.
Rob, thanks. Now to the Life section, and this has been all the talk this week. Oscar nominations are out. All I heard on the radio was about the snubs yesterday.
Yeah,
but now the focus is on next month's show.
Right, so you have the Oscar nominations. Also, rapper Macklemore makes an appearance on Sesame Street, and he's talking some trash. ABC's Ted Rollins has the latest on what is happening in Hollywood.
We are pleased to announce the films selected as the Best Picture nominees.
With Oscar nominations out, the focus in Hollywood is now on the show. Neil Patrick Harris is hosting and says he and the writers are hard at work trying to come up with a plan.
You don't want to just do kind of easy laugh jokes. So that's where the pressure is right now, is creating content that you think will be relevant.
The Academy Awards will be handed out February 22nd on ABC. Miss Universe contestants modeled their swimsuits ahead of next week's preliminary competition in Florida. The field of contestants will be narrowed down to 15 before the pageant telecast on January 25th.
Money, money. I'm gonna pop some trash. Only got 7 bags in my trash can.
Singer-songwriter Macklemore stopped by Sesame Street to pop some trash, singing a parody of his Grammy Award-winning song Thrift Shop with Oscar the Grouch. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Ted Rollins, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, let's look ahead now. Tomorrow, something for you bike enthusiasts out there. A different style race is coming to Old Sacramento. The cyclocross style race will cover 2 miles on all types of terrain through Old Sac. The first race starts at 10:30 a.m. Organizers say it's the first bike race through Old Sacramento in more than 20 years.
And also this weekend, Sac Republic FC will be holding their final 2-day tryouts. They'll be at Cosumnes River College tomorrow and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. About 65 people are expected to try and make the team. Registration is closed, but there might be some future stars in the making to check out. Current players Max Alvarez and Emra Klumeta both have earned contracts, and that came from those tryouts.
All right, and Monday is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. MLK Day is a state, also federal holiday. Some places that will be closed include the DMV, post offices, Sacramento City Hall, and all city offices as well. However, trash collection for at least Sacramento County and West Sacramento will still operate for normal pickup. Sacramento Regional Transit will be operating on a holiday schedule with limited service, so be sure to check for any changes, and you're going to want to do that ahead of time.
All right, well, time right now is 4:54 on this Friday, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about jobs.
We are. Are you looking for work, or you live in the Carmichael area? We're going to tell you who's hiring. That's next. Let's talk jobs now. In today's Who's Hiring, Dignity Health is looking to hire a phone receptionist at Mercy San Juan Hospital in Carmichael. High school diploma or GED equivalent is required. 6 months experience as a medical office phone receptionist is preferred. To apply, visit dignityhealth.org/careers.
I'm attracted to your father.
You're gonna eat all that?
Or even just, I have a basement apartment.
I prefer your sister. And that would be a problem for you?
Yeah, it's cold, it's scary.
Yeah, 5 words that would ruin a date. Do you know 5 words that would be a total deal breaker? So our friends over at KUSA in Denver asked people the worst things you can say to someone on a date. Some other ones said, "Do you even lift, bro?"
Well, who would say that, the girl or the guy?
I guess either.
Either one.
Are you going to pay?
Yeah, you don't say that to a girl. No.
No.
You just pay.
But a girl shouldn't say that to a guy either.
Mm-hmm.
He should just pay. Right. I lied about my age.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
I play bass for Nickelback. Don't lie, guys. Don't lie on the date.
Don't lie.
Keep it truthful. You know, I went out with this girl not too long ago, and she came back at me after about a week of going out with just a list of things that I had said that she was making note of. You know, that's one thing. Just be glad you're not in the dating world anymore, because there are some people who will just sit and wait for you to mess up.
Okay.
A list?
A list?
I may not be in the dating world, but there is a mental list that happens with my wife. She remembers everything I say. She'll call me on it out of the blue. So
there you go.
It doesn't go away, Joe.
Love it. Much more for News 10 at 5 a.m. Stay with us.